I'm most excited to see Zach Wilson because I heard a lot about him, like, as the draft approaches, right? He's sort of on your radar, but it reminded me of Roethlisberger when Eli and Phillip Rivers were coming out. And then later in the season, you start hearing more and more about Roethlisberger. Let me look at him. Let me check him out. Oh, yeah, you can see why people like him. He's going ahead of Justin Fields. Are people crazy? And then so I started, like you mentioned the other day, Stephen A., you go on YouTube, you start watching stuff, and oh, my God, this dude is just the eyeball test is crazy. The off-platform stuff, the accuracy, the way he makes those throws, the way he escapes pressure, reads defenses. Guys, Trevor Lawrence is going to be great, everyone supposes. And Justin Fields, I'm curious to see how he does. And Trey Lance, maybe a year or two down the road. And what about Mac Jones and everything he's saying about reading defense? But Zach Wilson is the dude that I want to see. And there are two parts to it, guys. There's what the athlete brings, and I want to see it. I've been wrong about some guys. Sam Bradford, I thought would be great. I saw him do some great things in college. Nope. And there are other guys you're right about. You go, yeah, of course, you could see that coming. So I want to know about Zach Wilson. But the other side of it is, where are all these guys going? Zach Wilson is going to New York. He's going to the Jets. This is not the heritage team in town, but they have a rabid fan base. They haven't been good in a long time. This is the team of Joe Namath. When was the last time they had a great quarterback in New York? And by the way, Sam Darnold was supposed to be. It didn't quite happen. There are two sides of it: the athlete and the market and the team. And I'm excited for all of it.
Well, I think the operative word is excited. If you're intrigued, I like your selection. But excited, I want to see Trevor Lawrence. They're talking about this brother the way they talked about Peyton Manning. They're talking about this brother the way they talked about Andrew Luck and some of the great quarterbacks that we've ever seen in NFL history. That is the expectation. So because of that, I want to see what he brings to this level. You got to remember, we've seen him in big-time competition. Please don't get me wrong, guys. And Marcus, I think you can appreciate where I'm about to come from with this. Trevor Lawrence has played against stiff competition, make no mistake about that, and I'm not trying to knock it. But I don't think anybody would accuse the ACC of being the SEC, And so when I look at it from that perspective, I just think what Clemson brings to the table, and certainly they've been in the National College Football Playoffs, and they've had stiff competition, and we've seen enough from Trevor Lawrence to know he is absolutely positively the real deal, at least on the collegiate level, and I believe on the pro level, but I still want to see it on this level where week in, week out, you're going up against NFL competition as opposed to slaughtering some lesser competition, which I think that he's done in his career as well as performing against big-time competition. But the other part about it that I'm excited about is because Urban Meyer is his coach. And Urban Meyer, one of the great, phenomenal coaches we've ever seen in college football history, is taking his first dibs at an NFL job. And the fact that Urban Meyer is your coach, and just like it's your rookie year in the NFL, it's his rookie year in the NFL as a head coach, is also intriguing. Obviously, we haven't seen much from their receivers. I think Chenault was their leading receiver. He only had about 58 receptions or what have you. So they've got to upgrade from the receiving corps standpoint. But that still doesn't eradicate the fact that you want to see what Trevor Lawrence brings to the table, especially with Urban Meyer as his coach. I'm most excited about seeing that amongst the quarterbacks.
Well, y'all done heard me. Y'all know who I'm most excited about seeing. Justin Fields, man. Like, we've been having this conversation, asking questions about why is he not the second-rated quarterback in this draft, not that much of a degree of separation between him and Trevor Lawrence. And you look at everything that's been transpiring leading up to this, and I'm just thinking in my mind, are we going to have another Deshaun Watson situation? Are these teams going to pass on him because they've convinced themselves that one or the other guys are better, and he falls to a team, and then he goes on to have a tremendous amount of success? He's a no-brainer, no-question guy. I'm most excited to see that. Because, look, Justin Fields, as much as I've lamented about how good he is, he has some ways to go in order to be a professional quarterback, in order to have the staying power, in order to have the consistency, in order to be the guy that we all believe he can be when you look at what he's done on film and from an athletic standpoint. So when he gets wherever he's drafted, outside of number 3, if it's lower, and then you start to see Justin Fields get down and ends up on a team that's probably going to be middle of the pack or pretty good, I'm going to be excited to see what he does for that football team. And I understand that Justin Fields has been talked about as a range of being up there at number 3 or as low as going down to 10, 12, some team jumping up to get him. But I'm telling y'all right now, there will be a conversation in 2 years or 3 years where we say, how did they miss on Justin Fields if he falls in this draft?
Yeah, so the Bears would be nuts not to jump up and grab him if they could. But, Marcus, I have a question for you. When my eyeballs are on Zach Wilson, like there's some dudes who are really good, big, strong arms, really excellent players. Josh Allen comes to mind. Dak Prescott comes to mind. But there are other dudes that when my eyes are on them, give me a different feeling. Mahomes, obviously. Rodgers, obviously. Also Justin Herbert. A different kind of arm talent for me, even than Allen or Prescott. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm talking about the impression I get. When I watch all these guys, the one who gives me that feeling is Zach Wilson. Am I imagining that, or does he have a different kind of talent?
No, Max, you're not imagining that. It's a different kind of talent, but here's the thing, man. Like, we now have this perception of what jumps off the page, and Zach Wilson fits all of that. You hear these words off-platform throws, and he has the ability to throw across his body. The one thing that stands out about Zach Wilson when we breaking this thing down in general terms, when you watch him play football, what we attribute to all of these other quarterbacks that we talk about that are fascinating and top of their game, they are playmakers. They figure out how to get themselves out of bad situations. They raise the level of the guys around him. His skill set lends itself to him helping guys elevate their game. Now, here's the caveat, and we have to talk about this because he went to BYU. This is not to cast aspersions on quarterbacks that come from lower tier schools. Does that translate? And you won't find that out until he plays.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.